Hi everyone, I apologize for the quality of this video. I'm shooting it on my phone. I don't normally make these kinds of videos, so bear with me about the lack of quality. I just thought I'd share my experience with the Carcano I purchased from Royal Tiger Imports. This is from that Ethiopia stock that everyone's been hearing about, just at least in the surplus collecting world. This is a 9124. Kind of run down here and show you what it looks like. So these are cut down to carbine lengths from the full length 1891 rifle. So this is why they have that long sight. Obviously, I'm not going to do an unboxing, firstly because I threw the box away anyways, and second of all, there really wasn't anything remarkable about it. It was kind of a box within a box type situation, and the inner box had these little inserts that kept it from sliding around too much in shipping. There wasn't anything remarkable about it anyways. And the other thing that I've already done is I've actually cleaned it out. So a lot of these come in looking pretty rough, and this one did too. It was extraordinarily filthy. Like, you couldn't lift it or pick it up. Let me show you the other side without getting your hands completely stained in grease or whatever it was. I didn't completely thoroughly scrub everything, but enough so that it doesn't do that anymore. And then I've also cleaned out the action, the magazine. Well, no, not the magazine. I'll get into that in a little bit. The bore, took the bolt apart. And so, yeah, this is about what it looks like. And condition-wise, there are some things that I'm kind of happy with, some things less so. So, for example, as you can see, it is largely in the white. There's hardly any original finish left anywhere, really. The other kind of condition problem I had is that there are several cracks in the furniture. So, for example, we can see one right here on the upper handguard, and there's another one that you can see here as well. And then another right here behind the rear tang. That one I sealed, and it seems to be holding up. I have fired this gun already, so. Another thing of note is I did have to replace this original magazine. Well, I guess I didn't have to, but I chose to anyways, just for aesthetic reasons. The original that it came with looked like this. As you can see, it looks pretty chewed up, and this video really doesn't do justice to how bad this magazine actually looks. And by the way, this is as dirty as it was inside and out when I first got the rifle, so that you get kind of an idea. I happen to have the spare magazine on hand just because I'm kind of into Carcanos. If I didn't, that would have been an additional expense of maybe $35, $40. It's really not the rarest of Carcano parts. If, on the other hand, the hand guards for these are actually really quite rare and hard to find. So if you do happen to have one you're willing to sell, please do let me know. And another thing of note on this thing is I did end up replacing the action screw. So that's this guy here that runs through the magazine assembly here through the stock and into the rear tang of the rifle. So the original screw looked like this. I'll show you. As you can see, hopefully that shows up well enough. It's quite chewed up. Don't know why, and also the threaded portion of it seemed like it was shorter than it should be compared to a factory one. So fortunately, that was another one that I did have on hand as far as spares go. Ordinarily, it may be $8 to replace, or maybe $20 for the pair of two if you need the front one as well, which is a little shorter. But that one seemed fine, so I didn't switch that out. But I figured that would have been wise to get this replaced before firing the gun. One aspect of the condition that I am happy with is the condition of the bore, which is quite shiny actually, surprisingly so, not pristine, but it's not dark, and it has well-defined lands and grooves. I did try to take photos, but they just didn't turn out very well. I couldn't get the depth of field and such to show you an accurate depiction. So I guess I'll have to take my word for it, but it actually looks pretty decent. That unfortunately doesn't make it a good shooter. Those that know a little bit about this, since this is a 9124 and cut down from the full-length 1891 rifle, the 1891 rifle incorporated this gain twist rifling, where the twist rate of the barrel was increasing towards the muzzle end, and apparently cutting it down didn't do the accuracy any favors. I didn't know how bad it was, or if maybe that was just internet lore, but it turns out to be quite true. I'll show you some targets. Or a target, I guess, I shot with this 50 yards freehand with the PPU, and basically it was keyholing ridiculously badly. So I did end up reading that the PPU is slightly undersized and often particularly doesn't play well with the 9124 cut down barrels. So that isn't so much a fault of Royal Tiger or anything like that. That's just perhaps something inherent to the 9124 model specifically. So of course that leaves me with not a whole lot of options either. Maybe trying out some original military surplus ammo if I could. It's around, so I guess I could try to find some. Other than that, maybe hand loading is another option, but the PPU factory stuff certainly isn't playing well with it. And if it is drastically different, maybe I'll do a follow-up video on this as well. Am I happy with this purchase? I'd say I'd probably give it a C minus maybe. It does work, it does shoot, it is an interesting piece of history, so there is that going for it. It's a shame that the most common and most affordable ammunition out there for these doesn't seem to play well with it, and I have yet to find out if any other ammunition will as well. Oh, the other thing, by the way, before I forget, that I didn't care for was this one is actually an antique, and yet they still import marked it on top of the barrel, which I don't know that that's necessary legally speaking, but there it is. So the other question that comes to mind is, knowing that this is what I'm going to get, would I have made the same purchase? Would I have spent the same amount of money for this with the full, 100% 2020 hindsight? And I'm not sure. I can't say with a resounding yes, because there are these I think pretty significant flaws to it, but at the same time I don't think it's utter throwaway junk, and that at least it's functional, it's safe to shoot. It may never shoot accurately, it may with proper ammunition, I don't know. So the jury's kind of out on that. Maybe that'll be the deciding factor, but I just thought I'd put this out there just as another example of what you can expect if you decide to take the plunge on one of these. And it's certainly not as bad as the K98 Mauser that I got through Classic, which that story isn't over yet, so I may end up making a video on that as well. But that I would characterize as a true disaster. Well, thank you for watching, and if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them. I will be checking. That's all. Thank you.